Hey everyone, Radhe Radhe. All right, so it's our first live stream. Yeah, here we have it. Share screen. Everyone, if anyone is present over here, we're reviewing about some of the cloud projects as well as also the softwares that are available at the moment, and they might have had some kind of update in the previously. So we'll be reviewing about some of the updates that might have happened in those particular softwares, and then we'll try to review all of them as a basic. As someone who's a newbie who doesn't know as much about the whole project, so that's why we'll be reviewing about them all. So first live stream. So let's see which angle is pretty nice. I don't know. Right. So we'll be reviewing it. Let me share my screen. Yeah. So we at the moment we usually have three particular projects. One of them is kgateway, another one is Helm, and the third one is kserve. Helm, it is a huge, there's a huge talk in the whole town. It's kind of a huge talk in the whole town because they recently had a new update from the version 3 towards the version 4. It's been 10 years for the Helm, so that's why it's kind of a huge thing, Helm of it. So we'll be reviewing it. All right. I guess I should split my screen. Just wait for a minute. So let's change it. How do I change these notes? Is there anyone in the chat? No one. Oh, good. So here we have kgateway. The recent version, that is version 2.1, has been released. I'm also one of the contributor of this project. So we'll be reviewing all the changes as well as also any particular updates that might have accepted in this latest version. And the main theme of this particular update or the release of the version 2 is that if you doesn't know about the kgateway, it's a kind of an API gateway that usually acts as a control plane for your architecture. And right now, in the latest version, it will be integrating along with the another project that has been been managed by a huge chunk of the the team at Solo.io. Kgateway is also being managed by many of the of Solo.io. So it will be integrating along with the agent gateway. Agent gateway usually acts as the data plane for your architecture, for your Kubernetes workloads or your cloud application. So yeah, the control plane and the data plane, those both will be integrating alongside to form up this huge, really amazing. Can be really helpful for your whole architecture, your application. Agent gateway, as the name suggests, it's integrating along with the the AI as well. And let me see if my let's see if it is change this sharing screen. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm like my name is watching. So here we have. All right. So that's the kgateway. Change. It is Google doc. I'll be sharing it as well on my in my description of this particular live session, where you'll be finding some of the notes. We'll be mentioning about some of the notes as well, or some new things that we might found. You can access them as well because I'll be publicly sharing them in the description of my live session. So yeah, let's get started. All right. That's another one. I get confused a bit in that particular thing. It's a bit new for anyone who doesn't know as much about the Kubernetes or the cloud. So it's the version 2.1. Some of the breaking changes are that the Kubernetes Gateway API version V 1.4 integrating along with this particular project. It will be integrating along with the AI backends and the agent gateways. AI backends were already included, but now it will be integrating along with the agent gateway as well. Uh, all right. So the AI backend, the simpler LLM providing nesting has been also changed earlier. We used to include the providers section as well. The simplicity has been, and the whole manifest files or the particular engineer who will be managing the YAML manifest files. It will be a lot more simple kind of a there is an I have to include the provider section. They just have to include the LLM and then list out the particular LLM provider that they will be using at the moment. Then we have also the priority groups and the providers. Here we have the OpenAI. The earlier one was this. We used to include multi-pool as well. Like we used to include the multi-pool, then the pool, then providers, and then OpenAI. Which version of OpenAI will be using? Whether it's about the fourth version or the third version or the GPT 3.5, GPT 3, GPT 4, or whichever you might think. Overrides have been simplified. Override feature. So we can see it's been simplified a lot comparatively. Route delegation feature, it's really important. Let's talk about this particular section. So route delegation, which help you in in the traffic splitting thing as well, and while integrating along with the inheritance thing as well. Whether you've been inheriting the policies, the traffic splitting network routing policies of the child or the parent, whether you will be using the shallow merge or the deep merge. Shallow merge will be helping you in preferring, if it is prefer parent, then it will be preferences or any particular the it won't be using the nested, it will be using just the top layer of those merging. Okay, and while the deep merge, as the name suggests, it will go deeper, and the nested the policies as well. So yeah, that's about the policies. As we said, yeah, here we have the policy merging. Know more, you can surely uh, reach over to this particular section as well. Parent-child hierarchies, as I said, inheritances policies would be used. Child policies take procedure. It's been said or been kept as the default feature, and the shallow merge prefer parent. It's the other one. If you want to select that particular thing, then you can just put it. Otherwise, the child's preferences would be kept as a default policy. Child's policies take precedence over the parents' policies, and the policies are being shallow merged. Shallow merging means the policies are being merged at the top. As I said, it won't be going into the repo level, so it won't be using the nested and all those particular things as well. So the determined by these specifically specificity and the creation time as well. Right. Let's come back. Agent gateway has been enabled for the Helm changes, as true. Also, the waypoint proxies they have been also been enabled as true. Uh, Disable route policies. Here, the disable policy has been included. This is one of my contributions that I included. Also, this particular release notes or these particular release notes, not the release notes, but if you want to know about this particular update or the version of 2.1, then you can just approach and look into the release points. Let's say Arun Parashan and Nina Bolsapova and Michael, all of us have written some of these particular things. All right, so let's come back the release notes. So the new Features, agent gateway integrations. Yeah, so agent gateway would be integrated along with our project. kgateway now supports agent gateway as an open source, highly available, highly scalable enterprise gateway data plane that provides AI connectivity for the agents tools in any particular environment. You can visit the agent gateway docs as well. Yeah, these are the the gateway docs that will be integrating along with the agent gateway. So if you want to know more about this particular project, a separate one, then you can visit their own website as well. Right. So agent gateway integrations, global policy attachments. Earlier, any particular the just wait for a second. Right. So earlier, if you used to define any particular, policies, then you have to include them all in the same namespace. But now it's been set to create a global namespace for the policies so that you can enable them all for any particular priorities or things. Oh, all right. I'm getting some kind of network issue, I guess. 16. Well, it's been long. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, global policy attachments. Earlier, you used to, handle any particular policy that you have to integrate along with your architecture in the same namespace in which those particular components of your cloud architecture, the Kubernetes, has been managed. But now it's been set to be used as feature for the whole global as a global feature for all the namespaces that are available into your workloads. These global policies can attach to the resources in any namespace in your cluster through the label selectors or weighted routing as well. Now you can configure weights for more rules than you can assure or attach some of the weights them to handle some kind of weights. So, similar to the one we use for the LLMs and all. So we used to like they make sense depending upon the weights of the different keys or components that are available, and in that way it's being used. So in the same way for the routing things as well, we'll be using the weights as well. Deep merging for external authorization, external proc as well. Policies. In addition, you can use kgateway.dev policy weight annotation to determine the priority in which multiple external authorization, external policies are being merged. Let's look into some of the policy merging. All right. Kgateway lets you define how policies are being merged when they are applied to a parent. And yeah, we have gone through them earlier. Additional proxy policy template customizations. Gateway proxies are creating default proxy template that has been stored in default gateway parameter resources. To change the default setting, you can just create a custom gateway parameter as well as a resource and deploy a gateway along with it. Okay, gateway now has more options to customize the gateway proxies, default templates, and spread constraints and external traffic policies as well. Let's look into some of the info. Uh, So pod template reference, header modifier filters for the traffic. You can modifiers as well for the traffic policies, and this way you can get more flexible policy attachments such as gateway level policies for more info. You can look into all of these particular things. It will be supporting the HTTP 1.0 or, 1, or 0.9 support as well, configuring your gateway to accept the different versions of the HTTP as well, or the protocol HTTP protocols, so that you can support legacy applications as well. All right. This is a really amazing topic. Go through the the documentations if you want to know more about this amazing thing. Horizontal pods, auto scaling. You can bring your HPA plugin into the K gateway. This way, you can automatically scale gateway proxy pods up, pods down based on certain thresholds. So if somebody doesn't know as much about the verticals or the horizontal pod scaling, there's different things as well that you can, like the auto scaling part. Scaling or scheduling is a really important kind of a topic for your whole management of the workloads. If it is about the horizontal thing, then it's like building up or producing more pods so that they'll be having their own memory as well as also CPU, and then you can just host different parts of your application or different components of your microservice whole architecture. Otherwise, if it is vertical one, then you can increase the size of the CPU or some single component of the pod at the moment, and then you can just host your application or different components into a single one. They have their own pros and cons as well. It's another topic. Make a dedicated video for that for sure. Right, for this session, configure different types of session affinity for your envoy-based gateway proxies. Change the balancing algorithm, consistent hashing, system persistence, self-strong session affinity or sticky sessions. So it's yeah, same one. There's been that's awesome. Yeah, we can through this documentation we can understand how we can load balance incoming requests and the backend services that have been hosted on our applications. Simple load balancing might include, multiple load balancing algorithm for selecting backend services for forwarding incoming traffic based on the different network policies, as well also in the way they have been managed at the moment by different components. By default, incoming requests are forwarded to the instance with the least requests. You can change the behavior and instead use the round robin algorithm. Uh, DSA. That's awesome. And just go through them. It's an amazing documentation that has been laid, and just go through and playing around in your playground of your computer and just enabling or using up these different components, and yeah, seeing changes that might have appeared. Right. Passive health checks the outlier detection. Configure passive health checks and remove unhealthy hosts from the load balancing pool. Oh yeah, it's an another update that has been configured along with the latest 2.1 version of kgateway. Configure passive health checks and remove the unhealthy hosts from the load balancing pool with an outlier detection policy. If like for the data science perspective, like if you are having a lot of different data that has been captured at the moment, and for the security purposes as well, if you might have got any kind of particular data that usually varies a lot from the the central tendency or from the mean value that has been captured for the whole data set, then it will be considered as an outlier, and that outlier might actually become the reason for the crashing of your servers, or the discontinuing of the services into your architecture, or any particular failure that might have occurred into your system. That's how the whole the reverse engineering is actually being done by fixing up the outliers and fixing and seeing when does those particular outliers actually happen, and detecting those different policies that might have triggered that particular kind of an outlier as a result. So an outlier ejection percentages that can define if a policy has been unhealthy. So any particular outlier in your system that usually outliers or varies a lot from the central tendency or the different the policies or the output that your system might have seen or experienced in a long time. So that might become